So, is there anything that we've missed from the Cobain stuff? Are we moving on from the subject? Guys?
Let's move on. Maybe he can ask us some questions about some other things that we're into. You know, some cosmic stuff.
I'm not. I got a few minutes. I'm not going anywhere.
Why don't we introduce him to a big 3 minute? Why don't you?
A big 3 minute?
Do you have one?
No.
What's
you don't have really. You
what
really
is
don't
that?
Have, do you?
You guys just have shit like.
Well, you know, David's spearheading a very strong movement into exposing what we call the big three here. That's 9/11, the Boston bombing, and Sandy Hook. He thinks that
Sandy Hook was one that that's one that I spoke to people about. Actually, 9/11 too. Those are the big. And what's the third one?
Boston bombing. The Boston hoaxathon, as Dave likes to call
Nobody
it.
died, nobody got hurt. It's completely fake. It was filmed over 2 days, green screen, smoke bombs, and 100% crisis actors.
But what about the no legs people and all that?
Yeah, so a bomb filled with BBs and rusty nails and screws blows off people's legs. Doesn't hit anyone in the testicles. No eyes, no arms. Just legs are cleanly blown off. If you get into it,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I need like 4 hours.
This was a comedy show.
Just to get it going. It's complete and total fakery. There's doctors speaking out like these injuries are impossible. There's my Boston Minute. You can spin the wheel.
And did you talk about
end up with Boston?
You guys already covered what happened in Europe?
No, we did that last show.
So I'm just wondering how irrelevant
Yeah.
this show is with what happened in between last week and this week.
Well, do you guys believe anything? Do you guys believe anything that happens?
Yes,
like if something
yes.
big happens, will you believe that happened, or will you be like, I gotta?
No, Sully landed on the Hudson River. That's it.
Well, I mean that we saw.
That's it.
So I wanted to ask you though about outside. I know you
Can we
think.
talk about Gaddafi?
You think we've never been to space?
Absolutely. No, there is no.
Never
space.
even. There is no space.
There's no space.
Now that's the part you gotta speak about.
You know what? Unfortunately, that is a whole nother show. And
Wait a minute. There is no space.
Hang on a second. I'm inviting both of you
to space.
No, not to space. Absolutely. Both of you onto a Google Hangout show where you can ask all the questions you want, and it goes for 3 or 4 hours because that's how long it takes to get this information out.
It's not really true to say that you don't think there's space.
Because
you have said that
not
you
as
don't
we know it. Yeah, right, but if you ask me,
you say.
There's what we know, what we're told space is doesn't work. You know, I mean,
why?
Because one, the space is a vacuum. Where is the border between the atmosphere and the vacuum? Where does that happen?
That's what the atmosphere is supposed to be for.
The atmosphere is the border. I mean, why doesn't it just suck all of the air off the Earth into the vacuum of space? It's ridiculous. Astronauts, when they go on...
Can anybody answer that?
Nobody can. Nobody can.
Yeah, nobody can be like,
by the way,
I think the story is that it has something to do with gravity as well.
So gravity, anytime someone says gravity, replace it with the word God, because it makes a lot more sense. You ever put
which
something...
you haven't discounted. You actually think there is God.
You ever put your hand, something into a vacuum? It blows up. Whatever has the air in it, like you put a balloon in a vacuum, it blows up. So how come the astronauts in their very flexible suits, when they go out into space, don't pop out like the Michelin Man? They don't. There's no.
I don't have any idea.
All of the shots.
Don't you think that it's possible that scientists figured out how to make it to where it wouldn't do that?
No, because
there are no scientists.
There are no scientists. Because there are no scientists.
No, well, hang on, Tim. You can make all the jokes that you want.
I'm just fucking with you.
It's just they could prove it if they just by show us on the space station, do a 360-degree turn with a camera. They'll never do that because the fourth wall doesn't exist. Show us 20 minutes of undefined weightlessness and take the camera and look out the window in real time and show us real time.
How can maybe you can't do it from real time because they're in space?
They do live shows on the Ellen
Show. But how long is that delay?
Well, there is no delay. There's live shows where people talk. Come on, I could talk to someone in China right now. I could pull up fucking PK in Australia.
Yeah, but they're on the Earth.
Yeah, they're on the other side of the ball Earth versus being right there, 250 miles up. I can reach somebody, 15,000 miles away.
I mean, I can't be.
But what about this? What about the
my signal's
astronauts?
Supposed to go to space and then to Australia?
I'll give you a conspiracy with a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Check this shit out. Ready?
What
about the astronauts that are on their deathbed, or like these FBI agents that are on their deathbed that are saying...
You know how many astronauts have died before they should have, strangely?
But that are saying that... And I think a couple of them said when he was on the moon... he saw shit, and he knows that there's alien life form. He knows that there's extraterrestrial shit, and he made sure that he said it on when he was dying.
And I'll add to that. Not saying that he's right or wrong, whatever. I love exploring
And the
alien
Jackie
shit.
Gleason wife story.
Right.
That's one.
Yes,
that
it's a
one?
big one.
You know,
And
that's a fucking huge one.
Yes.
What's that one?
Jackie Gleason's wife said in her autobiography, because it's well documented and well known that Jackie Gleason was good friends with President Richard Nixon, and he came home pale as a fucking ghost, scared shitless out of his fucking shoes. And she says in the autobiography that Nixon took him down into a naval base and they saw an autopsy of an alien being done.
Okay,
David.
I just interviewed Roger Stone about that the other day.
And
He confirmed all that.
did they confirm that his wife was telling the truth?
Well, he confirmed that his wife
That
said this.
All right,
Okay.
so that's a completely two-dimensional story, but I believe it. So let me ask you a question. Where did the aliens come from? Did they come from 100 million light years away where they have to travel at the speed of
Dave,
light?
you're thinking wrong if you think it's the way it's going to happen.
Hang on. Did they come from super far away?
Dude, if
Or
I
did-
knew that, I wouldn't be in this fucking room.
Or did they come possibly from a couple thousand
you want
miles
us to
away,
think.
10,000 miles away, out to areas of land on this flat Earth that we don't have access to?
Right.
And they came just over here, boom, back and forth. Well, excuse me.
They're getting them. They're
Underground.
hitting them with the gun.
They're hitting me
the
with
ray
the ray
gun.
gun right
Yeah.
now.
The problem is we're in four-dimensional bodies and we have no idea how somebody might get here from 100 million light years away.
Or
So we're talking
Or
about
even if they
something
did-
that
no, wait a
we
minute.
have
or the
no
simple
idea
solution,
about.
or the simple solution is it's very local. I mean,
But,
you know,
but even
Right,
if they
but whether-
did do that,
right.
then that still means they were traveling to get here from space. So then
no,
space
not
exists.
space. No. I'm going to quickly explain the flat Earth map, and then anybody this is all new to you. You have to go to my frequently asked questions page on Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole.
Okay.
Flat Earth FAQs. Watch some of the videos. It's quite entertaining. But the way the Earth works is, the North Pole is the center. Just imagine a big flat ice sheet, and going around that North Pole is the sun, local to the Earth, and it melts out a puddle with islands in the middle. That shore, the entire shoreline around, is Antarctica.
Thanks.
Every direction you go is south. If you go in a straight line
Right.
far enough, you'll end up going south.
But here's what I want to say with the alien thing. I don't give a fuck if they're a million of miles
Right,
away
right.
or 1,000 miles away. I want to know if they're like what's intriguing to me is that there's other life.
Sure,
I don't give
sure.
a fuck where they came from, how they came.
They're here among us.
The last fucking thing I would do, the last question I would have if I saw an alien would be like, how long did it take you to get here, and where are you from?
How's
I'd
the
just be like,
trip?
holy shit.
Why not? That would be my first question.
No, I would
Why?
just. I may say like what's.
I'm interested.
I may say like what's going on, but I don't care how they traveled here. Like I don't care what galaxy they came from.
It wouldn't be number one, at least. If, at some point, I'll get to how.
First of all, I would have to finish puking
Yeah.
and shitting my pants that there was aliens,
Yeah.
and then when I gathered myself, I would be like fucking.
Listen, you seem like a smart guy that's not afraid to change his opinion on something. Look, no, you're
Malleable.
not.
I love
was
the
trying to say.
passive aggressive.
No. Here's how it is. There's including myself, because I banned people from our Facebook page that were saying, "Look into this flat Earth." I'm like, "Flat Earth? That's ridiculous." And then I said, "That's it. I'm going to go in and I'm going to fucking debunk this." And anyone that seriously goes in to flat Earth research to debunk it becomes an avid flat earther
So
every single time.
because I'm on this podcast and I'm talking to you, I will go home. And I will
right.
look at
Where are you gonna
and
go to look?
I
Where are you gonna go look?
Where you just told me to.
Where is that?
Tell me.
I'm going to tell you again because you're forgetting.
Flat Earth.
What's the name of this podcast?
Don't put him on the
It's
spot.
deepinsidetherabbithole.com.
Yes.
And then there's two flat Earth pages. One says FAQs. Start there.
Okay, FAQ.
FAQ.
On
Flat Earth.
deepinsidetherabbithole.com. I will go to that and I will
take
look
your
at
time
it.
and watch some of the videos, read the questions,
Belittling.
And then I'm not belittling. No, this guy,
condescending.
if this guy actually goes and looks, which I think he will, and spends a day or two, watching videos in his spare time, he will come back on this podcast and say, "I fucking hate you, Dave. You ruined my life. The Earth is flat, and I can't tell anyone about it."
Why can't you tell
I
anyone?
will.
Why doesn't anybody?
Because when you say flat Earth to
What's
somebody,
the-
Can I
what's
connect the Kurt
Can I just-
Cobain
hold on, I'm going to answer his
suicide?
question, and then you can.
My answer to this
To
question
all
said,
of this.
why keep it a secret? Why not
I'll
just...
tell you why. Because
there's no reason
I'm gonna
to make
tell you
this
the
whole
reason.
elaborate-
I'm going. Oh no! Why you keep the Earth flat? It's on the
No,
free-
no, not...
Why?
It's on
What?
the facts page.
Keep the Earth flat. No, I'm talking about
Dismisses
just
it.
why wouldn't I just be like, hey, why would you make up the thing of making up space and everything else is so much more insane than that's such an insanely
so
story
you're
that
saying-
like way out of hand,
you're
or people are like,
saying
I don't know.
this
Then
is
there's like
this is
Saturn,
question
like,
number
wait,
It would be the greatest conspiracy in
3B.
history, obviously.
No, it's not the greatest. It's the second greatest.
That's
What's
right.
the
you were
greatest?
gonna-
I'm
you were
going to
gonna
tell you,
us
but
what
let
that
me
was.
get Mike Feeney's
Sorry.
comedian Mike Feeney's answer.
Thank you so
and
much.
the answer is
Fan favorite.
it's all about control, because if we knew that the Earth was flat and that the resources are not limited and that there's more, you can't contain us. If you had so I've used this a long time ago, but I'm going to bring it up again because we have new listeners. If you have a tiger in a cage, he's not going to be happy. But if you put him in a safari park that's big enough, he'll like it. And if he ever comes to the edge and finds the fence, he'll just turn around and go back, and he's still happy because it's acres and acres and acres, and he's happy. But if the humans find the fence, there's no way to stop us from wanting to go on the other side of that fence and see what's there. And by keeping us disconnected in fear, in believing that we live on a ball in an infinite universe and we're one of billions of others, that separates us from who we truly are, and they can control us. Once we realize who we are, that we're great spiritual beings living an amazing life, and the biggest conspiracy of all is the secret that we don't ever die. That's it.
So
Well,
Paul,
I mean, but it's been an open secret.
Well,
right?
it's an open
Because-
secret, but
The
people
fact
don't
is
believe
that
it
throughout
because
most of human
if
history,
people knew.
until sometime in the 1700s, most people did not believe in annihilation.
Right, and so the reason that they
is
get
a new
away
thing.
they get away with these plans that'll never, that we like. Why would they plan something like that? They know they're not going to be alive before this plan is fulfilled. They know that they're being reincarnated. That's why they keep their bloodlines pure, so they have genetic memory, all sorts of stuff. It's stuff that that's not shared with us.
I think the thing that connects this with Kurt Cobain and all the other conspiracies is we are living in a time and place where we cannot trust the information we're receiving.
100%.
And unless we're
Sure.
right there on the spot and we can evaluate it ourselves as a witness, and even then, we can be questioned.
It goes
It's a very
to
hard time
it's
in history to
you know what it is. It's always what
say
they
this
it's always what they want us to do. When you're at school and they give you a textbook, that's the fucking textbook they're giving you.
Right.
They're giving you information. They're making you learn
His
information
story.
that they want you. You know, if an establishment says, "Hey, this is the pamphlet. You need to know this, and I want you to know this," all you really fucking learned is what they're telling you to learn.
And if you disagree with it and speak up, you fail.
Right, and I agree. Listen, I think a lot of the things you're saying, I like the way you argue it. I mean, I disagree with some and I agree with some. But what you're saying is, yeah, it's like when you go against the establishment and you say something like, hey, wait, question things. And I'll go as far as to say this, okay? And I have no problem saying this, and some people don't like it. But as far as this Trump thing, I'm not a Trump guy. I don't think I could vote for somebody that doesn't show humility like that and doesn't seem presidential. But what they're saying about this guy and what they're doing in the media about
It's
this guy
hard not to
is
It's an organized campaign
it's
against him.
absolutely fucking ridiculous. This is a man that I will not vote for. I'm not voting for any of these motherfuckers. But this is a guy that I'm like, I don't really know if I believe in this guy. But what the media is doing to this guy and saying about this guy and what they're not showing, the fact that they didn't show that when you saw that when he was at that conference, there was a black lady and she was talking about getting a job, and he called her up and he interviewed her, and she goes, get her a job and get her a salary, and she hugged him. His fucking limousine broke down. Somebody helped him. You know what he did? He said, get their information. He paid off their fucking mortgage. You're not hearing none of that shit. There's people in Hollywood that do like him, that's saying how generous he is and all that stuff. And again, I'm not trying to condone. I think politically, he's being a buffoon. I think politically some of the things he's doing is really ridiculous. I think some of the things he's doing is smart, but I think some of the things is making him go, come on, man. Yeah, I can't vote for that. But however, you know, they're giving you what they want. If they wanted to paint him to be a good guy, if they wanted him to do like that, that's why they say Bernie Sanders is losing, because they want Bernie Sanders to fucking lose. They want Hillary to fucking be. He's beating her in like a lot of things, and they're not portraying that. They're just trying to, because they want her. You want to know why? Because she's in bed with corporations. She's fucking the status quo. That's what she is. She's just a fucking bench player. You know.
No, absolutely. I think the media is an extension of the national security state. So,
absolutely.
So that's what we get from them. But it's forget the media. The Republicans themselves, the Republican establishment.
Yeah.
You know, they feel, apparently, unless you disagree, I don't know whether you disagree or not, but they feel threatened by Trump. He's gotten totally out of control from their point of view.
That very well might be the case.
The media is has made huge profits on Trump's presence at these events.
Yeah.
And it, on the one hand, wanted that to go on, but on the other hand, he undermines their credibility.
The guilty pleasure.
And the credibility. It's hard. In other words, no matter what Trump says and all of the things that I wholeheartedly think are absurd, It's hard not to root for.
So here's something I just want to comment to you guys and
Same
everyone
thing for
else.
Saunders.
Everyone else
Sorry
listening.
not to root for
A lot
him.
of people will hear someone will come to them with a new concept and that they've researched and that they truly believe, and the person will say, "Well, I just don't believe that." Instead of saying, "I don't believe that," or even saying, "I believe that," say, "I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet," and then look into it before you make up your mind based on two-dimensional information that you may or may not have heard.
But here's a problem, Dave, that, for example, the evidence that you provide to prove your assertions, whatever they may be, it also largely comes from the same discredited media that we're all talking about.
Nah, not always. Not always.
Almost always.
No, I don't think so. You haven't been following Baller Skeptic, my friend.
Or their conclusions drawn from that information.
I think I've created a lot of original content myself that you can find on YouTube, DITRH. Check it out. We're over 10,000 subscribers.
I'm not saying the flat Earth is false or true. I'm simply saying that the information that we have to go on is inherently discredited.
Gaddafi video.
I got it.
And that is a problem with drawing conclusions from it.
Yeah.
Dude, if the Earth is flat, I'm going to write a letter to every one of my teachers that just says, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, if that is the case now, if I'm finding that shit out in my fucking mid-30s that the Earth is...
How come a lot more people don't find out and then go like, whoa?
Well, so hang on, I have an answer for that.
That rapper just came out and said it was flat.
Yeah.
B.O.B.
Are you on his side?
Yeah, B.O.B. But, who knows what if he was...
They supported him long before
we're
the flat
boys,
Earth.
but anyway.
We're boys. The whole thing.
Yeah, B.
Just think about this. There was probably groups of people that knew the Earth was flat recently before the internet. Thinking that right now, I can talk to people, I can tweet around the world, and I still can't get people to listen. It's so difficult. You go out on the street and ask
but you're
people
not
how many.
Famous.
I know, but we're waiting for some famous people to come out, and we're close. There's some famous people.
Has there never been any of them?
No. We started with the B-rated. We got Tila Tequila. We've got B.O.B. But somebody's gonna come out.
Like
like
the all-star team.
You're like
Tila Tequila. That's gonna fucking push you over the
She's been researching.
It actually sends us backwards.
We're digging in.
But there's other people that are looking. The problem is, and back to what you said before, is when somebody speaks out. The words flat Earth are synonymous with moron, idiot, fool.
Well, this is very interesting. The fascinating thing about the flat Earth theory, in my opinion, and I've been covering it and talking
Flat
to
Earth
David
reality.
and Patricia about it a lot, Patricia Steer, is that people who would believe almost any crazy conspiracy you could imagine, when they hear flat Earth, their brains explode, and they just cannot accept it. They can't listen to it.
I was that
they
person.
Can't deal with
I
it.
was that person.
And no, David.
Then you came to your
and
senses.
David and your partner Patricia.
I came to my senses and realized the fucking Earth is flat.
And dealing with people whose heads are exploding.
But couldn't they
because
also-
They won't even. People can't have a hard time tolerating.
Comedian Mike
the
Feeney.
suggestion of this.
Couldn't they also control everything if the Earth was flat?
No, because once people realize that we are these great, powerful beings, which goes along with the flat Earth, that we're spiritual beings and that there's more, they can't control us. The way they control us with believing in shortage, living in fear, and thinking that there's nothing more that we can get to that's within our reach.
I don't see how flat Earth is empowering.
So-
you seem to say it's empowering.
Yeah, like if we found out the
didn't
Earth
see it
was
either.
flat, but if
To me, it tells me
No, but if
an
you
alien species built a cage for us, we
No,
don't know what the hell
stop.
is going on.
I disagree with that
we
statement.
don't know how to get
I've actually
out.
never
We're stuck
heard
here.
that. I've never actually heard
I am
that.
just taking the information
But
that flat Earth people
you
say
said it
is
on the last
true,
show, and you're saying
which
it now, and you're generalizing, saying flat Earth people think that alien people.
That's racist.
I've never heard that until
David,
you said
David,
it.
Hold on, David.
Until you
Okay,
said it.
You are saying, that there is
Shit's
a
getting
huge
real.
dome
I know. I liked what you were
over
about to say.
flat
Yeah.
Earth.
I am
We're
not saying
in
that.
some kind of a
I'm not saying that.
diorama or
I'm not saying
something.
that.
What are you saying?
But here's the thing, though. Even I think we're not given. I mean, listen, the general public shouldn't get that much credit because we know that fucking half of them are idiots. But more than half.
99.
But yeah, more than half. But this idea that if you found out for real the Earth was flat, like I'm still gonna fucking eat breakfast tomorrow
Hang
and
on
just
a second.
fucking chill. Like
Hang on a
I
second. This shows. Listen,
But wouldn't you tell everyone
accept-
you've ever known?
no, but
No.
I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
Immediately?
No, you wouldn't because
Why?
Because people will just put you. They'll think you're insane. People are afraid to speak up about other conspiracies. There's people that know about 9/11 but won't tell their friends and family about it.
No, I'm saying
But
I'm not.
there's something about flat Earth.
But I'll tell you something
No,
about
No,
flat
but
Earth.
let's say it is flat. Let's say it's
Yeah,
definitively
so I'm going to
100.
answer that question.
Okay,
You've already
okay,
said
Thank
this.
you.
So that's an early on question that you don't realize the answer to. William, you should know the answer by now because you've been looking long enough.
Bad William.
I what?
Said Bad William. Shelby, can we get music teed up for in the future when Dave is defending one of his points against 5 or 6 or more people, like some sort of Braveheart?
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going at him. I just want to know.
I appreciate it. And I was with you, but the
But look at how we set up. We all slid back.
If they forgot the question.
An alien intelligence
he's
is not
become the
behind
focal
this
point.
dome and flat Earth that you're
Can we get a
talking
picture
about.
of this?
Yeah,
Like a
this is
poster
weird.
of Dave just defending.
the reason that we're not going to just be like, oh, the Earth is flat. It's not that way. It's like finding out you're in a cage. It's like finding out that there's so much more opportunity out there. It's like finding out my entire life.
Okay.
I've never been religious. Anytime I hear a podcast and they start talking about Jesus,
How does it
religion,
show
I
there's more
change the channel.
opportunity?
Hang on, I'm trying to make a point, William. And the flat Earth there's no way the flat Earth can exist without an intelligent creator, not a man in a fucking beard in a throne.
An intelligent creator.
There's an intelligence. It's intelligently designed. I'll even put it that
When
flat.
you say intelligent, you mean with a small I or with
But
wisdom or what?
a big capital I.
You're
I don't
not talking
know.
about wisdom. In other
I'm
words.
talking about
You're talking
that
about
that you'll
intelligence,
realize that
technical
I
capability.
never would ever imagine myself saying this, that there is a creator. That's
Right,
the word
but-
I'm going to use, a creator.
Right, but that's still you went over my question. With all due respect, you didn't answer my question, and what you did is you went over it really quickly. What I said was, if I found out definitively 100% fact that I was in a cage, right? It is flat and it is a cage. Am I gonna fucking start killing people? Am I gonna wake
No.
up and lose my mind? No, I'm gonna fucking take care of my children, eat meals, and fucking enjoy my life and do stand-up.
And you're going to be nicer to your neighbors, and you're going to disconnect yourself from the power that's lying to us. The people that are lying to us, you're going to stop giving them your taxes. You're going to stop voting. You already stopped voting.
Yeah.
You're gonna not give them your energy. Thank you, Shelby. You're not going to give them your energy, and that's what they feed on.
So you're
This is-
saying
this
that I'm gonna
literally-
okay? So then it's gonna be maybe a defiance to the establishment.
It's a
Yeah,
little loud, Shelby.
it's gonna be a defiance to the establishment,
Hold.
and I'm gonna kind of what they're thinking is I'm gonna kind of stay within my group of people.
If they keep you in fear, you're going to give them that fear energy, and they feed off of that. But if you are not afraid of them and you live, free and don't send the energy to them, you've disconnected them, and they lose their power. If everyone stops paying attention to the government, what could the government do? I mean, there's
Right.
more of us. There's way more of us. So
Right. All right.
everyone, that's it.
That's the show.
That's the show.
I'm
Hey,
exhausted.
check out Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, Flat Earth, Frequently Asked Questions, and all
I
of
will
the other
check
stuff
that out.
on that page. Is a lot of videos to watch, but they're short, a lot of short ones. And then
Sure.
all of your
I
questions
might
are answered
add
there.
that, I report. You can go to worldbeatsamerica.com. You can find that podcast there.
All right,
Okay,
yeah,
thank
that's
you.
cool.
Thank you.
Feeney, anything you're plugging?
You can go to Mike Feeney Comedy. I am Mike Feeney on Twitter. Got On the Offensive at the Creek, fourth Saturday every month.
Nice.
8 o'clock.
Let's go camping soon.
Yes.
All right.
Not bad.
This weekend I will be with Joe Bartnick co-headlining the Comedy Shop in Wantagh, New Jersey on Friday, and Pompton Plains, New Jersey on Saturday. April 1st through the 4th, I will be with Bill Burr in Ontario, Canada. You can see all those dates, paulverzi.com. And April 28th through May 1st, I will be headlining the Punchline in Atlanta. And you can check out my podcast, The Verzi Effect.
So everybody, check out, go on YouTube and search The Great Man-Made River, which is a video I did on the great Muammar Gaddafi.
How many hits?
It's this week. It's up to 7 million, I'm guessing. All right, because at the time of recording, it was just hitting 2 million, going viral.
You uploaded and it's going viral?
Yeah, I made
That's
it.
great. Are you making a lot of money off that?
None, zero. I didn't monetize my channel.
And I want to back Paul up.
How much money do you make for 2 million hits?
I mean, a lot more than not monetizing it. You
Yeah.
can make some per million. It's like a good chunk of change.
Yeah, I guess so.
I never did
couple
it.
$100
I didn't
Couple
monetize
$100
it.
bucks?
Nothing.
All right,
You
so
should do it
I
now.
want to back Paul up, and I've seen him perform stand-up a couple times live. He's fucking funny as hell, so make sure you go
thank you.
check him out. And follow me at Open Heart Army, my website, thethirdthing.net. Later.
You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
This has been a Stand Up Labs production, powered by digital media.